Hey, she's a true fighter for freedom and liberty. She's Elise Stefanik. Hey, Elise, you've been a great friend of the show this campaign cycle. I want to thank you for all your hard work. Thank you so much.
Great to be with you. It's so exciting that you're at Dave McCormick's headquarters.
Yeah, I feel good about Pennsylvania today. I really do. Now, where are you at the moment?
I will be watching the returns with the Speaker of the House, and then we look forward to going to Florida for a big night, hopefully, for President Trump. So we're tracking all the House races, including in my home state of New York, including in Pennsylvania. A lot of targeted races there. But I think it's going to be a good night, and we're just working hard to turn out the vote.
Good, excellent, wonderful. Well, you've been working so hard in Pennsylvania. You were on the Trump bus. I know you were doing amazing work. What's the message you want everybody to hear today from you, Elise Stefanik, as the Republican leader?
Well, this is the most important election in our lifetime. People understand that. Just look at the wide open border. Look at the horrible economy with skyrocketing inflation. Look at the increases of crime, and look at the chaos and catastrophes around the world. Policies and leaders matter. We have a failed president and vice president, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and compare that with the success of President Trump, who not only delivered a secure border, but will do it again, who has grown our economy in our first term, he will do it again, who has cut taxes, and he will add on to that with no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and he will bring back peace through strength. So on every key issue, he is delivered, and he will fix it again, but only if we get out to vote. So make sure you turn out to vote.
Do you care about the Bill of Rights, Elise Stefanik?
Of course. Of course, it's all on the line. Look at our First Amendment, our Second Amendment have been shredded by this administration, and we need to make sure that we're standing up for our Constitution. It is all on the line. And look at how Democrats are smearing the 250 million Americans who vote Republican and voted for Trump. They called us anti-American. Joe Biden called us garbage. They called us Nazis and fascists. It is ridiculous. They have been trying to silence hardworking Americans. So make your voices heard and vote.
And when it comes to the horrible things they've said about Donald Trump, who I know personally, who you've got to know very, very well personally over the years too, that he's a fascist, that he's going to be a dictator, that he's going to try to be an authoritarian and take over. Can you dispel that notion for anybody who's worried about that?
President Trump is going to put the American people first, as he did in his first term. And I think what scares the left, which is becoming increasingly Marxist, is that the American people have woken up to this really biased coverage that the mainstream media has been providing for the past, not just year, for many, many years leading up to this moment. Those days are over. People are waking up, and they know that it's up to us to vote to save this country. And President Trump's top priority is delivering for the American people.
Yeah, I agree with you. And when it comes to energy and fracking, one of the best points you've made on the show, Elise Stefanik, is that fracking is so important in Pennsylvania. Your state of New York, there's a moratorium on fracking. This is who Democrats are. We cannot believe Kamala Harris when she says she's not against fracking.
And you know why? In New York State, 2 governors ago, Andrew Cuomo, before he was run out of office, he said, I'm not going to ban fracking, and then immediately after his election, he put a moratorium on fracking in New York State. Pennsylvania has benefited very much because so much economic development moved from New York to across the state line to Pennsylvania. So do not take their word for it. Look at their actions. Kamala Harris has voted to ban fracking before. That was her position, and that is what today's Democrat Party supports. So for all those hundreds of thousands of jobs, the billions of economic impact for fracking in Pennsylvania, vote to protect energy independence, and fracking, vote for President Trump.
And when it comes to inflation, how much of energy is driving the prices that we see today in the Democrats' war on energy, of course, and also their ridiculous spending as well? But
it's both. I mean, clearly the Green New sham obsession, these far-left progressive giveaways, these mandates, the crushing of our energy and gas exploration and development, that has had a negative impact on our economy in terms of prices going up. But that's also coupled with the trillions of dollars in the Inflation Expansion Act. As you and I have talked about before, this was the Democrats' hallmark economic policy, and it was trillions and trillions of dollars for their pet projects. and it boosted inflation. It increased inflation. You can't spend trillions of dollars and not expect there to be an impact in terms of historic inflation. We warned them of this. We rang the alarm bells, and yet they went out there and said inflation was going to be transitory. This is not inflationary. And look, people know they go to the grocery store, they pay their utility bills every single month. They can see the impacts of Kamala economics every single day on their paycheck.
Elise Stefanik, thank you, my friend. Thanks for everything you're doing for us here in Pennsylvania. We really appreciate it. And let's hope for a big victory tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Rich Zeoli Show on Talk Radio 1210 WPA.